last 2
You're
weeks.
probably just better off
Yeah,
putting in
really?
the announcements because we have to be quiet during the announcements and shops.
Just be like, all WAVE
And,
students, get ready to come to WAVE.
So I was supposed to go talk.
So we thought it would be great to bring into this, to our girls group, influential women from this city, have built up the city, built a name for themselves in this city. So today we have Linda Pereira with us, who is a city councilwoman and can share her story about what it's been like growing up in Fall River, and I think we'll have a very positive message for all of you.
You're going from county down Koval.
Yep.
There's a garage
Yep.
and a two-family white house.
Yep.
My dad built that garage when they bought that property, and we lived on the second floor of the White House. The house next door was my grandparents. So it was kind of close-knit that you had your grandparents right next door.
Portuguese family, of course.
Yep. And you know, you always got to go to your grandmother's, and she'd always say, "Did you eat?
Yep.
What did you eat?"
Yes.
The test. What did you eat? So we had that kind of lifestyle. I had two brothers, but they were older than me. When I was born, one of my brothers was 13, the other was 15. So it was almost like, as I got older, it was almost like having three fathers, because my brothers, you know, knew the streets, so to speak, and they would always try to protect me because they thought I needed protection. And I just think that that's what older brothers are supposed to do. But it was very annoying to me then. And then my parents built a home right up here on Bedford Street. It's the tan house on the corner of Bedford and North Ogden. It used to be pink, which I really hated. Then my mom died and my father had a lady friend whose favorite color was purple. And I was away on vacation. When I came home, the house was purple. We used to call it the Barney house. And I got married very young. I was 19. And my husband was 20. The day after our wedding, he turned 21. So we were both pretty young. However, I had my first daughter when I was 22, my second daughter when I was 23, and raised a family. I had gone to college and had finished my associate's degree in Boston, and I decided that we were going to get married. And my father said, if you want to get married, that's fine, but I will never accept your husband into this family until you finish your college degree. It was always very important for my dad that we finished college. My dad lived in the United States, and at the age of 8 went back to live in Portugal. He was born here, but he went back because my grandmother was sick, and the doctors back then told her it was the climate. So my dad was pretty much educated in Portugal, and my grandfather went back 2 years after my grandmother and the 3 kids left. At 16, my dad wanted to come back to the United States. He came back. He worked in various shops until he was employed by a construction company, because that's the jobs that were available at the time. And he became a construction foreman and worked outside every day of his life. And I had a brother who was going to Durfee, my older brother, and he was skipping school a lot. And my father took a day out of work, which was like really a bad thing to take a day out of work, you know how. And he went in and he talked to the principal, and my father told my brother that education was very important, that my father went to night school after working all day on construction site. He went to Durfee night school to receive his diploma, because my brother said, if you think it's so important, you never got your high school diploma, why do you think it's important? And my father felt that sometimes you have to lead by example with your kids. So he went and got his diploma. So when I got married, I started to go to UMass, Dartmouth, and I paid my college tuition, because I felt I got married and the bills should be my responsibility, even though my dad had said, if it comes to money, I will pay for your education. You know, I'm a little bit stubborn and thought, I'm going to pay for it, and I did. The year that I graduated, they had a big graduation ceremony. You know, I had a child, and it was just, give me the diploma, I don't need to go through the pomp and circumstance of graduation. And one of the reasons I didn't want to go was because neither one of my brothers graduated from high school. And I didn't want to be the show-offy kid sister, or make them feel like I was better than them, because I hate when people do that. So my mother said, when's graduation? I said, oh, they're just going to mail me the diploma. It's in 2 weeks on a Sunday, but I'll just get the diploma. I don't want Dennis and Albert to feel bad. I'm not going to go. And the next day, it was on a Friday, the next day on a Saturday, one of my brothers called me and said, hey, can you meet me at Cozy Nook for breakfast, a little restaurant over in Westport? He said, I want to tell you something. I said, okay. So I went to meet him. When I got there, my other brother was there. Both of them were there. And they said, I hear you're graduating, but you don't want to go to the ceremony. You just want them to mail you the diploma. I said, yeah. And he said, you know what, kid? You did what we should have done, and you're the only one that Mom and Dad will ever be able to go to a graduation. So, you know, you're denying them that pleasure. I said, well, and my brother said, I hope you don't think it's because we're going to think you're smarter than us, because we're not. So obviously I knew that my mother had talked to them. So I did go to the graduation. My brother and my sister-in-laws went, my husband, and after graduation we went, you know, out for dinner somewhere. My father, I forgot where we went already. But that night when I got home, my father gave me his paycheck from that week of working and said, I know you paid for your college, and I really don't know what we could get you, but I want you to know that I've worked construction all my life to make sure you had an education, and I want to give you this week's paycheck. I never did cash yet. I have it in a frame at home. It meant more to me, the sentimental value. So then I taught at a Catholic school for 4 years, and it was lots and lots of fun. I did 8th grade and I did kindergarten, but I really liked the challenge of 8th grade. Sometimes people don't like middle school age, because middle school age is when you think that you know everything and you're smarter than your parents, but you're not smart enough to leave home and do it on your own, right? So you're really not smart enough. But that's like a tough age, and I kind of like that age because it's a fun age, it's a challenge. I just like that. I knew more than my parents, you know. I could operate a tape recorder and my mother couldn't, you know. Mom, you just have to press these 2 buttons to record. Now I feel like a dope because my grandchildren, when I have to record something on the TV or put a video on Facebook, my 13-year-old granddaughter knows how to do it, and I'm like, lost, although I tried. And then